Hey, sassy crew! Most likely you're already fighting tooth and nail for your team. This is a very long and special Splatfest. It includes a completely new hub, although I wish we could stay there while we are in matchmaking, you know? There's also different music as well as a tricolor turf war from the very beginning. As it should be, like always. Please, I actually do not like normal turf. This Splatfest may or may not influence some aspects of the next Splatoon installment, as was the case with the other games and their special Splatfests. Regardless of that fact, the question at hand is, at its core, a deeply personal one. There is no right or wrong answer to it, as was the case with, for example, Gear, Grub and Fun, since with Gear you can just get everything. Each choice, past, present or future, holds some significance both from a logical as well as a personal standpoint. This counts for real life and Splatoon. Although I think it's interesting to look at the merit of each choice in terms of Splatoon, and why people might prefer a certain team over the others. Also, spoilers ahead. First of all, the obvious and most likely thing many people kept in mind while voting are the idols. As someone who has played all 3 games, I even started with the Splatoon 1 test fire demo, I have fond memories of all 3 of them. Depending on which idol group someone likes the most, maybe they are incentivized to go vote for them. Callie and Mary are the OG idols who introduced the tradition of idol groups in Splatoon. They are cousins who play off of each other really well, having some playful teasing during their news sections. Callie's cheerfulness and Marie's snarky comments provided quite the unforgettable experience during news, Splatfests and the story modes. They were also brought back into the other Splatoon games, playing an important part and serving as a nostalgic anchor for veterans of the series. Design-wise, they showed a lot of similarity when looking at the outfits, height and poses, outlining them being related. Another wonderful duo that plays off each other really well is Pearl and Marina. The former comes from a rich family and has an outgoing attitude, while the latter was a Neptarian soldier who went to Inkling society after hearing the calamari incantation from the Squid Sisters. Marina has a huge passion for music, and Pearl encourages her to follow her dreams. These two are so supportive of one another, it's very adorable. Now, let's get to the designs. Unlike Callie and Mary, Pearl and Marina are quite different to one another. They are somewhat opposite with their hair length, size, and just basic posture, yet they kind of complete one another. The last idol group of the Splatoon trilogy is Deep Cut. Now with 3 members and a male idol, they are all very different to each other. However, despite the differences in personality, they have the appearance of a big chaotic family. Especially their quirks in Splatoon 3 story mode boss fights make them pretty charming. Shout out to Fry controlling literal gigantic ink eels, that's so awesome. What really sticks out in their design and also fits the Chaos theme is that their outfits are not typical idol outfits. Instead, they rock the clothes, or in Big Ben's case, the lack thereof, that they enjoy and represent them the best. Idols are not the only aspect that gives meaning to the decision between past, present, and future. In addition, these concepts include game elements, design decisions, and the general feeling at that time. As a simple example, Splatoon 1 had a rather chaotic approach with stuff like insta-invincibility Kraken and always active quick respawn. Splatoon 3 on the other hand feels rather safe in comparison, trying to not make anything feel too overpowered, although 52 could get a nerf, but let's keep that away for now. Each time period is something you can, if you played it then, connect with, fondly remember, learn, or to be inspired from. The past is being represented by Splatoon 1. It is the game that started it all, and that laid the foundation for future things to come. For many, it was their very first Splatoon game. Maybe it even showed you how good motion controls are, or that a shooter with fun movement options can be very engaging. Perhaps it was your first shooter experience ever, as it was for me. With it being the first of its kind, the game was rather chaotic. However, despite the chaos, a singular player felt like they had a lot of impact. The game gave you many tools to feel powerful with. Yet, the game state could shift very quickly, leading to a constantly engaging experience. The ambition is felt with a lot of stuff like the variety of weapons, vert kits, the creativity in stage designs, the music, and the overall vibe of the game, with little secrets here and there. The story mode, while simple, shows how much fun the devs had when designing gimmicks and dialogue. It was also a very special time to be around when this new and exciting IP came into being. Being able to watch as the game develops, people discover interesting secrets and new strategies such as stop strafing were being discovered. The past, including what worked and what didn't, could be used by oneself to learn and improve. Team Present is being represented by Splatoon 2. Having come out not shortly after Splatoon 1, the game had a lot of expectations to fulfill while being on the shiny new console, the Nintendo Switch. The game brought two weapon classes into the franchise, that being the Brella and the Dualies, peeking into aspects that haven't been considered before. Map design also attempted to improve on the factors that did and didn't work in Splatoon 1. The game itself went with a hip and ever-moving feeling, emphasizing it with the fresh new look and colorful appearance, many new specials and regular content updates. The devs also tried to balance the game regularly, keeping it fresh. With this installment being on a more popular console, the franchise gained many new fans. Regular content, balance patches kept the new faces engaged. More players meant the competitive community started to grow. Nintendo also gave support with yearly championship. Thanks for the free trip to Paris, by the way. This is not all that helps the theme of progression. They also got a DLC expansion that made the story mode more challenging. Splatoon 3 is the game that embodies the future. As the latest title in the Splatoon series and as the second Splatoon title on Switch, it was forced to do things differently to stick out from Splatoon 2. The title experiments with new movement techniques and spawn systems. Especially the movement makes this game the smoothest to play. The new weapons, special balancing, and fight-forcing map layout screams trying things out for future installments. The frequency of patches is also quite different, now introducing seasons and a catalog. Next is Mr. Grizz and his acceptance of the future that also plays into this futuristic theme. Overall, the game is trying to modernize many aspects for the Splatoon player base, while also experimenting with new things in order to find out what works and what doesn't. This title may be used for future improvements, based on feedback even more than the other games. But perhaps the game aspects themselves aren't really important to you. Perhaps you agree with the respective messages of respecting the past, living in the present, or planning for the future. There are also very personal experiences that each one of you has with the games. Maybe one of you waited for the package to arrive, only for your parents to prank you, saying the game didn't arrive. Or maybe someone has made a very good friend over the game. Whatever you choose and whatever team wins, all carries great importance. I wish you a lot of fun for the rest of the fest. See ya, guys!